I never believed in the old stories, but now I wish I had. It started as just another late shift patrolling the trails. The park had been unusually quiet, the kind of silence that felt intentional, like nature itself was holding its breath. The dense, unbroken stretch of pine forest pressed in from all sides, swallowing the moonlight and casting deep, shifting shadows across the ground. My radio had been crackling with static all evening. No reports, no calls, just that hollow, wavering hum that made the back of my neck itch. I had just passed the old fire tower when I saw the first sign that something was wrong. A deer carcass, twisted and half buried in the brush. The body was fresh, but something had gutted it cleanly, almost surgically. No scavengers, no signs of struggle, just a gaping wound and the thick metallic scent of blood soaking into the earth. I nudged it with my boot, and the head lolled unnaturally, eyes frozen wide in terror. My stomach churned. Then came the whispers. At first, I thought it was the wind, but the sound had a rhythm, hushed voices skimming just beneath my hearing, slipping between the trees. I turned in a slow circle, my flashlight cutting through the dark. Nothing. I radioed dispatch, but the static had swallowed any chance of a response. The whispering grew louder, a rustling noise to my left. I swung my light toward it and caught a glimpse of something moving, too fast, too low to the ground. A shape, dark and hulking, weaving through the undergrowth on all fours. My pulse hammered against my ribs. It was watching me. I felt it before I saw it. Then a growl, low, guttural, not human. A pair of glowing amber eyes stared at me from the underbrush, locked onto me with something between curiosity and hunger. My breath caught. It was huge, hunched, its body covered in thick, matted fur that blended into the night. The head was canine, but the limbs were wrong. Too long, too powerful. And then it stood up. It rose onto two legs towering over me, shoulders broad, head cocked to the side like it was considering me. My instincts screamed at me to run, but my body was frozen, muscles locked in place. The creature took a step forward, the earth beneath it crunching softly. Then it spoke. Not words, not really. A deep, resonant growl that vibrated in my chest, carrying meaning without language. A warning. It knew me. Knew I didn't belong here. I stumbled backward, finally breaking the trance, and turned on my heel. I didn't think, just ran. My boots slammed against the dirt path, breath ragged as I tore through the trees. Behind me, the sound of something massive crashing through the brush sent ice lacing through my veins. It was following me. I risked a glance over my shoulder. A mistake. It wasn't running. It was bounding, covering impossible ground in massive fluid strides, its claws raking deep grooves into the earth. And then, nothing. Silence. I skidded to a stop, chest heaving. The forest was still. No wind, no insects, no pursuit. I turned in slow circles, flashlight slicing through the dark. The trail behind me was empty. And then I saw them. Symbols. Dozens of them, carved into the trees, spiraling shapes and jagged claw-like markings. They hadn't been there before. I swallowed hard, pulse thrumming in my ears. Then I heard a voice. Not the growl this time, but something softer, older. A rasping whisper carried on the wind. Marked! The temperature dropped sharply, breath curling in the air before me. My skin prickled as the realization sank in. The thing hadn't just let me go. It had claimed me. I staggered back toward my truck, fumbling with my keys, half expecting to feel claws closing around my ankle, but nothing touched me. Not yet. When I finally reached my truck and slammed the door shut, I forced myself to take a deep breath. My hands were shaking. I flicked on the headlights, illuminating the trees ahead. Empty. And then, just before I pulled away, something stepped into the beams. It stood at the edge of the tree line, watching, head tilted, waiting. Those amber eyes burned in the night, a silent promise. I was marked, and it would be back.